Hello everybody, I'm Chris Provost and you're watching Provost Park Pass. In today's video, we're going to hear from you. That's right, you. You guys have made your voices heard. You put down the comments down below and report back on what's most important from you guys and your comments. Let's get to it. But before we do that, can I ask a small favor? Could you hit that subscribe button and that like video? Because we have a lot of cool things coming up here. I'm going to be going on to showing you some brand new cruises. I'm going to be going down to Universal Studios Florida in the next couple of weeks. And then I'll be going to Magic Kingdom and Disney World. And then back to Disneyland. And we're making lots of fun videos that you guys can watch. Plus, at the end of this video, I want to show you why you want to be subscribed in case we're going to do a special little live showing here. This video is going to be divided into two parts. One, we're going to talk about news, and the second part is about messages. So let's get to it. All right, let's get down to the news part here. So much has happened. So much has happened in just the last, 9 days here at Disney. And I mean, everything's just been shaken up. Lots of things have happened. Bob Iger is back. He had a town hall. He talked to the cast members. Bob Chapek is out. And Bob Iger he's going down and he's changing the landscape of Disney. Now, keep in mind, Bob Iger is also in charge of not only the Disney parks, but also the streaming services, everything in charge of Disney. So his priorities, he has a lot to be thinking about, just not the theme parks. I know a lot of us are thinking about the theme parks, but his priorities are all over the place. But he did address, I think we kind of know what he's going to be doing for the theme parks coming up, and I'll be getting to that in just a moment. But in a video I created, I said, the things that I thought that Bob Iger should be doing here to help with the Disney brand. And I asked you guys to put down in the comments down below, what is the most important things that you want to see Bob Iger do now that he's in charge of the Disney ship? And boy, howdy, did you guys come in. You guys had so many comments. I tried to read each and every one of them. In fact, I had a friend help me we created a little macro, and I looked for certain keywords and put it in here. And these are the top 5 things that you want to see happen with Disney. The top 5 things. Let's get into it. The number one thing that you guys really bother you guys is reservations. You disdain the reservation system for the Disney parks. I mean, when I knew that it was a little bit of a pain point, but boy, you guys are like, no, you do not like it. You want it completely removed. And I think reading from your comments, really what it comes down to is you want to be able to, you feel like your choice has been taken away. You want to be able to feel like you can go to Disney Park anytime you want to go and not have to worry about reservations. And you feel like that choice has been taken away from you. You want the opportunity to go back to parks whenever you want. And this is the number one thing that was talked about in the comments. And when I looked at it, almost 40%, it was 39 point something percent, I think it's 39.7% of comments were about reservations. Now, we do know this because in the town hall meeting, Bob Iger, the reservation question was asked to Bob Iger, and he's like, yes, I've heard about the reservations, and he goes, he's going to defer to Josh tomorrow. So really what Bob Iger is telling us, the theme park area is going to be under Josh tomorrow. Josh tomorrow, and everybody loves Josh tomorrow, but Bob Iger made it very clear, and he said, hey, it's Josh Tomorrow's call. He's going to be making decisions on what's going to be happening in the Disney theme parks. It's up to Josh Tomorrow. He's in charge of that. I'm going to lean into him and use his expertise, which is what a good leader does, right? Good leaders surround themselves with smart people, and they trust they lean into the people they surround them with. And so this is really now the ball is in Josh Tomorrow's court. He has to decide what is going to be happening with reservations, and that's really we'll be looking for Josh to see what's going to be happening. But I was surprised. You guys do not like the reservations. You were completely against it. So that was the number one thing that you said has to be changing was reservations. The number 2 thing that you guys talked about, which just made me super happy about this, was the cast members. You felt that the cast members need to be treated better and with more respect. And this goes across the board for Disney. You said, hey, when we go to theme parks, the cast members need to be appreciated. They need to be there. We don't want them just going there as a job. We want them going there and putting on this show. So we go there, the magic is there. And so the number 2 thing that you guys talked about was respect for the cast members, which I think is fantastic. I mean, that's awesome. I think that's something that Josh Tomorrow is definitely be addressing here. The number 3 thing that you guys talked about was the Genie Plus. And I read a lot of these comments, and really, I kind of distilled what I tried. So some of the comments were just like, I hate Genie Plus. And there are people, go to Genie Plus. And you didn't put any qualifying things on why you didn't like it. So I tried to go through and try to find out what it is that you guys, what you don't like about it and why it's irritating to you guys. And I think I got what you're trying to say. And this is I've extrapolated from a lot of your comments. I think a lot of you feel that the Genie Plus is not a luxury item, it's a necessity, and it bothers you that you have to buy a ticket to go into the park and then buy another thing that allows you to have a good time in the park. You don't like that feeling. You're like, hey, it's something that everybody's buying Genie Plus now, and it's really, it's not something that you feel like it's an absolute necessity. You have to have it in order to have a good experience, and you don't like that. You're like, why not just include that with the price of the ticket and just make everything equal? That's kind of what I'm feeling, but there's a lot of animosity about the Genie Plus. It's not, people aren't singing its praises. So that's kind of what I feel like you guys are trying to say. If you could correct me down in the comments down below, I would really appreciate that, because I'm trying to figure out how you guys feel about this. The next one was very interesting. The number 4 thing you guys talked about, and the key words were stress and difficult. You said, hey, it feels stressful going to Disneyland, and it feels difficult going to Disney. And I worked in sales for a long time. And one of the things that was really important when you're in sales is called the ease of buy. You want to make it very easy for the consumer to buy your product. Remove all the hurdles, make it easy, make them feel really good. You don't want them to have buyer's remorse. You don't want them to go through what's called the trough of disillusionment. You want them to actually just really enjoy the purchase and make it really easy that they can just do one little click and then make the purchase. Remove any hurdles. And a lot of you are saying you feel that it's stressful. And difficult is another word you guys use a lot. It's difficult. That's not a good customer experience, and I'm aware of that. I think that the parks must be aware of that as well. You guys are feeling like, hey, make it easy for us. Remove this stress. And I think the stress stems from what I think it's stemming from the reservation system. I think it's stemming probably from the Genie Plus. And this is causing stress and anxiety with a lot of you. And so it's making you kind of a little gun shy to go back to Disney. So that was the 4th thing. Now, here's the thing is I also read, and this one is really hard to quantify. There was a word that you guys used a lot. So I'm going to put this down as number 5 things that you talked about. And the word was magic. You said that magic is gone. Bring back the magic. There isn't Disney magic, and all different variations of the word magic. But you didn't really, in the comments, people didn't say why they felt that it was gone. You just felt like, hey, the Disney magic's gone, or you're like, I hope Bob Iger brings back the Disney magic, or we need the Disney magic. I want the Disney magic, and just magic was brought up a lot. That's a really interesting concept, because it's not something that they can't sell magic on a shelf. You can't just go purchase Disney magic. But a lot of you feel that these experiences that you're having are not living up to what the expectation is your mind, and that's a recipe for disaster when it comes to like business. So I'm not sure how to actually quantify that last one. A lot of you feel that Disney magic is lacking or less. If you could put that down in comments and try to explain to me why you feel, what is wrong with that. I think though, this is interesting, this is just me speculating here, is the numbers 2 thing you talked about was the cast members. And I think that goes back to the Disney magic. I think a lot of you feel like, hey, those cast members, they're being overworked, and it is affecting their performance, and that's affecting the magic. I think the reservations is affecting the magic. The Genie Plus is affecting the magic. And so these are things, having stress affects the magic. So I think all those 4 things that you kind of listed affects what we call the Disney magic, and you want the Disney magic to be back. Those are the things that you think are the most important and you want Bob Iger to address. And now we know that these are almost all theme park issues. Bob Iger is going to be deferring to Josh tomorrow. It will be interesting to see what Josh tomorrow is going to do with this information. Now, for you news junkies, you can just jump off this video right here, because the next part here has nothing to do with news. Just a little message that I want to get to everybody else. So for those of you who are just all facts, go ahead and say thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Now, I want to say a little tiny holiday message to you guys. I want you to know how important you are. You guys are awesome. And I know that we're walking into the holidays are just getting started. Today is Friday, December 2nd. We're getting close to holidays. And I don't care what you celebrate. I don't care if it's Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, or if you don't celebrate anything at all. What I do care about is I want you to know how amazing you are. And I know as we enter into these holiday times, it can be hard. If you've lost a loved one, a spouse or a grandparent, or maybe a brother or a sister, or, a child, going into holidays is difficult because you're flooded with all those positive memories of that. And then it's just tinged with sadness. And it is okay. I am giving you permission to be sad during the holidays. It's perfectly fine. Don't be mean, but you can be sad. And for those of you who don't have any negative associations with the holidays, be kind and be understanding that there are people out there who are kind of struggling this time. It's okay. And also, I just want you to know that you are important. You make the world a better place. And the last message I want to give is I want to talk to people who are going to some type of school, students. And I don't care if it's kindergarten all the way through getting a doctorate. I want you to know that you are amazing. And if you are struggling in school, that doesn't mean you're less intelligent than everybody else. It just doesn't mean that. I mean, you might have amazing skills that they don't teach in school. It just means that one topic that they're talking about, maybe you can't grasp it, but that doesn't mean that you are less intelligent and that you are slow. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means, I mean, for example, you might have an aptitude for mechanics, but they don't, if they had a class all about mechanics, you would ace it. Or maybe cooking. You might invent something that's never been cooked before, but you're not taking that particular class. Or you might be really good with psychology, but you're struggling with mathematics. Don't fret about it. Just know how important and how smart you are, and don't let anybody ever to tell you that you're not smart. You are amazing. Okay, I feel like I just wanted to say that because I know that sometimes people struggle with that. And lastly, for those of you, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification, because check this out. My wife gave this to me, Disney Trivia. It's a trivia. It's got over 200 questions. We don't go live a lot on Provost Park Pass. It's not something we do very often, but I'm thinking as we get closer to the holidays, maybe, the last week during the holidays there, I think I'm going to go live with this Disney Trivia. I'm going to set it up at a table. We'll sit down, you and I, and we're going to play Disney Trivia together live. I'll read the questions, and you guys can try to answer it in the comments section. I'll see how much I know. We'll just have some fun. We'll drink lots of eggnog together and just spend a little bit of time together. So make sure you have that notification bell turned on so when we go live, you'll be notified. Thank you guys so much. I am Chris Provost, and we have lots of great videos coming. You're watching Provost Park Pass, and you guys have a happy, merry holidays. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.